Currently it's 26 and feels like 19 in Middle Georgia. That's kind of unusual here. Remembered to leave the water dripping last night, so hopefully no pipes burst or anything. I mean, there wasn't any. Didn't look like there's any issues this morning when I left, but if they did, they might have already been frozen. So, interesting thing was there was like I didn't have to come out and scrape the window the last several weeks. If it was cold in the morning, I had to come out and scrape ice off the window, and if Prin was going to go somewhere, I would scrape off part of hers. Because generally, like I scrape off the part where I'm just gonna need to see, not necessarily all of the right hand side, because it doesn't take that long for the windows to defrost once you get up and going. But I turn the truck on, turn on defrost, scrape it, do Prins, come in, hit the windshield, and a small part comes off. But as soon as you start moving, before I get to the traffic light, the first traffic light I come to, it's usually pretty much gone. I guess a little bit of wind resistance helps too. And if I get stuck at the traffic light, I usually just sit there and let the heat build up slowly. I've been putting stuff back from going out and vending. Let's do it with this hand, I guess. Oh. Yeah, I'm a little bundled up in the truck. But I'm trying to figure out a way to put stuff back that I can easily get to it again. One of the shelves that we bought for the convention, I put in the closet in the office, and using that to, I lost some space with it because obviously it takes up space, and I can't put as tall of items in there. I had some boxes that are too big that I'm going to have to figure out where else I can put. But I'm going to try to get it loaded up pretty well, get things labeled, and then on the spreadsheet, I need to go through, I'm going to make a copy of it, take off the stuff that was sold, but then also indicate, I'm going to label the boxes somehow, or give an identification of where that box is, so I'll know what's in the box and I know where it is. And so if I want to do vending again, hopefully it'll be quick and easy, and I can be like, boom, all right, this, and this, and then I'll have to take apart the shelf. But I had a gap, probably about that wide, with the baseboard, a little bit less, but it was wide enough to fit a fat pack from a Magic the Gathering card. So the Magic the Gathering boxes are sitting just off to the side in between the wall and the shelf. And I stacked that up. And I'm trying to use the banker boxes that will fit between the poles that are, however far apart. Put it so the box will fit in there, so it gives me a little bit more room on the shelf itself. Unfortunately, I can only fit 3 of those banker boxes across, at least on the bottom. I'll have to do some more finagling with it, but just trying to find a place to put everything back. It was like, man, it looks like after pulling all of that stuff out, I was like, yeah, if I can sell some of this, I'll actually have some room left over. And I mean, we didn't sell much. I mean, I think it would probably be close to 80-90%, probably 90+% actually, of what we brought home. There was, I hadn't intended on taking these open packs of baseball cards. What it was is, you got the entire box, 36 packs. I think a buddy and I took 90 or 91 Donruss. It was when they had Series 1 and Series 2. I think I opened up Series 2, he opened a Series 1, and we just opened them up and then put all the cards back in the box. And took those, and I was talking with, I don't know his last name, Chris, and we talked to him the day before, and I don't know how, I think he was looking at the baseball cards, and I was like, oh, you want some baseball cards? He's like, yeah. I was like, we're getting back into it. I was like, here. And I gave him both boxes. And if he can enjoy them and have some fun with them, great. I was like, I don't know what I was gonna do with them. They were just sitting there. I was really just hoping to sell some packs, which I sold the box of 89, and then several of the 88 Donruss packs. I might do the event again, but I don't know. If it wasn't close, I don't think I'd do it. I think I'd be much better off going off someplace. I actually looked at trying to do something with Atlanta Brick Con, because the Lego stuff would probably sell pretty darn well there. But a table there, I think Prince said it was $500. That's a bit. That's a bit. But it would probably be worth it, because I mean, I would take probably nothing but Lego, and that's the audience right there. You've got the group that's looking for that stuff. Whereas even the gaming conventions and stuff, everything outside of games, it's kind of a crapshoot. I mean, you can bring game-related plushies, pops, and even some of that. But the game-related Lego stuff, I mean, any of that is all up in the air. There's getting to be a lot more anime and stuff in it, so it's not just retro games, which is cool. You guys see some cool stuff, because most of what I picked up wasn't games. But I mean, the best thing about the whole thing was spending time with Prin and the Munchkin. It was just a lot of fun just to hang out, and we had a lot of time to talk. And a little bit of time to walk around and actually look at stuff and chit chat some. With I don't have Cash App, which I might look into getting that. If someone wanted to use Cash App and the Munchkin was off, we had to get her back, and usually she and Prin were off if she wasn't there. But I'd have to get her back to use the Cash App. But it was a very different weekend than how we would usually spend it, and so I don't really remember spending a ton of time on our on the phones. But I mean, I was constantly looking at stuff, trying to figure out how can I do this differently, how can I do that differently, how can we move this, can we get all the stuff that's similar, like all the Transformer stuff in one area, all of the we have some Ninjago sets for Lego. It's like, can we get those Ninjago sets in one area, so if someone's looking for Ninjago, they can find it here. If they can look for we had Lego Movie 2 sets, if someone's looking for that, there's some right here. The Bionicle sets, just on and on and on and on. I forget. Should have been telling people they'd come in and look at the Bionicle, and the sealed canisters were I agree, they're expensive, but that's what they're selling for. But I had some copper masks, and I think I should have been pointing those out, because someone might have been interested in buying just the mask. $5-10, somewhere around there. But that was one thing that was really interesting, was there was prices. No, not prices. Sorry. There were some small Lego sets and some poly bags that we had out for $5 and $10, and we had like an activity book that came with a minifigure for $5, and none of that stuff sold. And I was like, that was the kind of stuff I was like, we brought those specifically because, like, for a kid comes up with like, oh hey, you did that, none of those sold. But the attendance for the convention was probably the most disappointing thing. That was probably like, I think double the amount of people would have been decent. Like, there was an okay number of people that went, and I don't think it had to do with because we were on the back wall. Um, but there just wasn't the number of people in attendance that really needed to be there to make it decent. So it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't decent. It was okay. Still haven't tallied up the numbers. But I know that we paid for the vending booth. And I think we sold enough to cover the shelves. Let's see if it was it 10 to 5 on Saturday, so 7 hours, and 11 to 4 and 5, 12 hours. But if I was paying Prin, the Munchkin, and myself $10 an hour, that would have been, because Prin wasn't there the whole time on Saturday or Sunday. So we'll say like around $270, $300 if we're paying ourselves a salary. You add that to 200, so we'll just say 300 for easy number crunching. That's 500, another 160 for shells, so that's 660. Not sure I think we might have broke that. But if we did, it wasn't much. And I was hoping to actually get some money so I can put it towards a new computer. Which, whatever profit I think, it'll go towards that. Or buying some more Lego sets or something so I can hold on to them. But I don't know. It was an adventure. It wasn't a horrible experience. I'm glad that I was able to do it at a local convention. I'm really considering about doing SEGI or Southeast Game Exchange. Although I'm really curious as like to how well some of that stuff will sell at SEGI, because transporting it up there, because it won't all fit in my truck. I think it would be fun to do. And it would probably be Prin, the Munchkin, and I again. And with the chance of being able to get it next to the Retro Raven booth, I think it would be cool too. Yeah. But in general, I think this was only like the third or fourth time they've done this. So, I don't know. I think I'd do it again on a trial basis. But, yeah. The best thing about the whole thing is, between vendoring and just attending an event, it's the people. You meet some people and get a chance to just chit chat and enjoy the hobby or whatever interest it might be. Because I mean, I talked about baseball cards, talked about gaming, talked about Lego, talked about some Dragon Ball Z. Sure, there's some other stuff, and I don't know what's happened with the break-in. I mean, luckily, thankfully, blissfully, we didn't notice anything get stolen. Talked to a pop guy, and that's how I found out that there was even a break-in, because when I got there Sunday morning, I was looking to see, okay, are the sets there? And to my knowledge, they are. But it was just sad to hear that, especially because the pop guy said that he was selling his collection because he was going to be moving, and so he was trying to get money for that. And the people that did it obviously knew what they were going for because they were very specific about the things they grabbed. Because he had a $400 pop that they didn't touch, but there was a Groot and I forget. I think there might have been Spider-Man, some other like bigger names. Because the 400 pop was like a con exclusive pop. So they were looking for specific things. And the same with the comics that were stolen from it wasn't like they went and they cleared off an entire shelf. There was here, 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 just here, and they're picking and pulling. Overall, I would definitely say it was fun. It was great to just be able to chit chat and hang out with people. Got a couple pictures. Had a couple other pictures taken with people with the Robotnik get up. Next one, I'll do some more thought on vendoring itself because that was time consuming. I definitely need to go over that because it took a lot of time to get stuff together, and because it was the first time, you've got a lot of upfront time, effort that you've got to put into it, and I didn't do enough, and so it was a little stressful, especially for Prin, because she said about I didn't have everything on the spreadsheet priced. and part of it was the games I had a list of already from last year, and I was fine with sticking prices on those from that time. But for her, it was a little stressful. So definitely if we're gonna do Sigi, we need to have everything on the spreadsheet, have everything priced, and have it printed out, and make sure that we have like an offline copy that we can look at quickly. But I don't know. Touch on it really quick. I think I spent 2 or 3 hours every night last week, excluding Friday, getting stuff and going through stuff. I did a little bit the week before that, but with Munchkin being home, I didn't spend a ton of time doing it, and I should have spent time before that working on it. But it's one of those things you don't know what you're in for until you really get started and get into it. But I'll try to think up some actual numbers and stuff of time I spent. Because Friday afternoon, I spent time organizing and whatnot and getting it ready, getting it down into the dining room where I put all the boxes. I don't think I took a picture of that. But to get it easier so we didn't have to take it downstairs and then out into the truck. But yeah, I'll get some numbers together for that. Try to get the total value that we sold and some other stuff. But everyone, take care, have fun, be kind to one another. Let's try it again. Take care, have fun, be kind to one another, stay safe, keep it Russia, God bless, and we'll catch you all later. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and jazzify. Jazz hands.